My routine or daily activities. Tell me about your routine or daily activities. I often eat breakfast. I sometimes take a shower at night. I rarely eat out. I always cook dinner. I hardly ever watch the news. I usually check email. I often read. I go to the beach once a year. I go to the doctor 3 times a year. I go to the supermarket twice a month. I exercise once a week. I brush my teeth 3 times a day. Tell me about your routine or daily activities. Use the following order when using always, usually, often, generally, sometimes, rarely, seldom, hardly ever, never, to talk about your routine or daily activities. I always drive to work. I usually eat out every day. I often watch TV at night. I generally read in the afternoon. I sometimes go for a walk at night. I rarely check my Facebook. I seldom check my Facebook. I hardly ever exercise. I never watch the news. Tell me more about your routine or daily activities. When using once, twice, 3 times a year, a month, a week, a day, use the following order. I do the laundry once a week. I go shopping once a month. I exercise once a day. I go to the beach twice a year. I go out with friends twice a month. I visit the doctor 3 times a year. I brush my teeth 3 times a day. I go to the supermarket 4 times a month. Your routine or daily activities. Questions. How often do you call your friends? How often do you call your family? How often do you check your social media? How often do you cook? How often do you do homework? How often do you do the laundry? How often do you eat out? How often do you exercise? How often do you go for a walk? How often do you go out with friends? How often do you go shopping? Your routine or daily activities. More questions. How often do you go to school? How often do you go to the beach? How often do you go to the supermarket? How often do you have breakfast? How often do you read? How often do you save money? How often do you surf the internet? How often do you take a bus? How often do you take an Uber? How often do you visit family? How often do you visit the doctor? How often do you watch the news? How often do you watch series? How often do you watch movies? How often do you watch TV?